I think it's very unfair if anyone doesn't get due process, whether that's a male who's been accused of things, a woman who's making the allegations. The legal system should work properly.
So the boy Young Philly is back in the UK, and he started to post to Snapchat now just a few pictures of casual stuff. It seems like he wants to get his life back on track, but there's still a pending situation in Australia that needs to be looked into fully. But this guy has had years of his life taken out, and judging by the comments across social media after he's made these couple posts, he's completely done. People are already assuming guilt. This is a problem we have with these types of cases. We just seen with Andrew Tate recently, right? He has had his situation in the UK drop from a criminal case to a civil case because there is not enough evidence. Obviously, the Australian system is very different.
Piers, I understand you're a journalist. I understand you have to be very careful what you say. However, you are a father to sons, and it's very unfair that we live in a world now where any man can just be unfairly attacked, unfairly lied about, and they have to suffer the process of this entire insanity for years before eventually it turns out the girls lied. Because what happens to those liars? Do you think that something should happen to the liars?
I think it's very unfair if anyone doesn't get due process, whether that's a male who's been accused of things, a woman who's making the allegations. The legal system should work properly. And there are far too many examples where it doesn't work properly. I don't know in your case.
I think Young Phillies is one of the most brutal situations because this guy's caught a case abroad in Australia. He's not that familiar with the country. He's been a couple times and he's had to set up shop over there and face this. It's going to be that much worse for the Australian authorities. That's why I said that they are going to let him return to the UK. Because if this case all comes collapsing down, there's not enough evidence to go to a trial or anything behind it, then they're going to have to owe Young Philly a lot in the income that he did not receive. This guy was making tons of money in the UK and we don't know where he would be right now.
I keep saying, I have no idea how this is all going to finally unravel. All we do know as a fact today is that so far you have not been convicted of any crimes. That is the only fact that we know for sure.
And that's a very important fact, because if we keep in mind I was enemy number one of the system, I was the most Googled man on the planet, that federal agencies from 3 different countries, America, UK, Germany, Poland, Romania, 5 different countries have investigated me, that I've handed over all of my electronics. If I had done anything, if I had smoked weed, if I had taken steroids, if I had gone to an orgy, if I had had a homosexual experience, if I had done anything, all of these things would be all over the paper. And what do they have on me? Nothing. I'm cleaner than 99% of the people you walk past in the mall. Because if anyone else had their lives investigated to the level mine's been, you'd see a whole bunch of skeletons in their closet. I haven't done anything. I raise my children. I work hard. I train hard. I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I haven't done anything. And they're very disappointed by how clean my life is. And that's the truth, because they have been desperate to put me in a cell. Desperate. And they've given the NCA, Operation Moonwalk, Britain, as broke as it is, dedicated hundreds of thousands of pounds to trying to put me in jail, as if they don't have other things to pay for as the streets of London run with blood. They have tried so hard and they are failing. I am an innocent man. It is not that hard to put a guilty man in jail.
Young Philly is home right now for Christmas and to spend a little bit of time with his family because he has been in Australia for so long. He'll go back over there and face the trial, and once it is over, if he is convicted, people can say what they want, but right now it's a man that's been accused, and let's remember, anyone can be accused. The streaming community and online have already been mocking him, calling him the fiddler and all these nicknames, but this is a serious situation. It comes with being on the internet, you're going to get mocked, but this is an actual victim of a girl that feels like something happened to her, and the only place it should be dealt with is a professional manner in a courtroom, but we'll see.
Suit me? Well, yes, it does, young fiddler. I think you look rather attractive, Mr. Fiddler, and I hope that you're settling down very well into the United Kingdom. I'd actually say you're looking pretty attractive, Mr. Fiddler. It does suit you. What a strange thing to put up after all of that. Is that his first snapback? That is, bro, we've not forgotten, bruv. That's not A1 deflection tactics, my G. Like, you can't just poke your head back in after a year.
Obviously, the Shade Borough are one of the biggest platforms in the UK, and they hold everyone accountable for everything. They just posted up that he's returned to social media, asking if this curly hair suits him, and the comments are wild. My friend said it makes you look like you did what they say you did. This is the least of your worries, pal. Good grip for the jail, man. Various of these comments are basically saying it's too early to return to social media. But obviously, what happens if this situation delays 2-3 years of his life and in the outcome he is innocent, how is the internet and social media going to make it back up to him? If you don't know, after Christmas he's going to be returning to Australia, and he's had to sit out and wait until the summer again to go to trial and see what happens. And obviously there is a victim side to this as well. There's a woman that feels like she's been abused, and young Philly is back in the UK doing what he's doing, but I don't know the exact restrictions other than that he is being monitored over here. So obviously they want to keep an eye on him and make sure he is not trying to flee or hide anywhere to avoid returning to Australia. But it could be other restrictions on making content and stuff, I'm not too sure. Only right now we've seen him on Snapchat posting a few little things to build up the momentum of things.
Rape accused British DJ could be back home in the UK for Christmas under a proposed relaxation of his bail conditions. Young Philly has been forced to stay in Perth for the past 12 months amid several sex assault allegations.
He's still in Perth, but may not be for much longer.
Are you looking forward to returning home?
British YouTuber and DJ Young Philly hoping to be home for Christmas after lodging an application to change his bail conditions, allowing him to travel to the southeastern county of Kent in the UK. The social media star boasts 8 million followers across TikTok, YouTube and Instagram, and has been stranded in Perth for the last 12 months, awaiting trial in July next year.
How have you been spending your time in WA?
The justice system in general around the world is broken. Things take so long to get to court. It's very serious. We need more judges, we need more lawyers, we need more people in the system, because 2 years out for the victim in this case, for young Philly, the accused in this case, does not suit anyone. There is no justice served immediately in many countries right now. It seems like every system is just overloaded with cases, and some of the more petty offences go to court before we see stuff like this go to court.
Accused of raping and assaulting a woman in his Perth hotel room after a gig last September. He's pleaded not guilty to 8 charges, including assault, choking and rape, and is yet to enter a plea for an additional 2 rape charges.
Young Philly is expected to return to court on Friday to bring his exact travel dates before a judge, who will then make the final decision on the application.
If successful, he could be forced to share his location with authorities around the clock and could be barred from licensed premises once he's back in Perth from early January. Ezra Holt, 9 News.
Will he return to YouTube? He's definitely not going to get support from any brands anytime soon until this case is completely over and he is proven 100% innocent, but the damage is done in terms of time. The best stance to have on this situation is just to await the trial and see the outcome, because if you're going to assume guilt straight away when a woman accuses a man, you're giving unlimited power to women to accuse and ruin a man at any point in his life, and there to be assumed guilt before the procedure of an actual trial where we find out what happened. In terms of this case and it getting covered on this channel, there's been many updates around it already, and we have not got to the resolution of the case and found out exactly what happened. There's going to be many more. This will drag into next year, at least the summer.